Let us journey together towards a life of cherished word and boundless love. We will fully welcome you to Royal Home Foundation International by our mother, Mommy Deborah Abimbola-Akanbi. You're welcome to our channel. God bless you.
This is one of the topics that the church doesn't talk about. When I say the church, I'm talking about you and I. I'm talking about the redeemed. I'm talking about as many of us that have had an encounter with Jesus. And the fear is that how can we be talking about sex to people who are yet to be married? If you mention sex to those that are yet to be married, you will corrupt their hearts. But to be sincere with you, my darlings, sex is not strange to you. You have been hearing about it. You are reading it from books. You are seeing it on the media, social media, and the television, the print world. You are seeing it all around. So, issue of sex is not actually something that is hidden. And one thing is this. It is better you have a better understanding, or it's good to have a better understanding of a thing than being exposed to it in a wrong way. When you have a better understanding of what sex is, whatever anyone now tells you elsewhere, or you read elsewhere, you'll be able to stand on the truth of it. So that is why tonight we are talking about sex. And I call it, let's talk about sex. I don't know the knowledge you have about sex before, but I want you to try as much as possible to open your heart and be receptive of what God has for you tonight. You can't claim to be ignorant of anything at this moment. In this kingdom that we belong to, ignorance is not an excuse. So there is a need for you to, so that you will not be part of those that are abusing it. Or perhaps you have been abusing it before, knowingly or unknowingly. But this seminar will open you up to the right way of how to use sex. The understanding of it will build in you. You will no longer abuse it. And if you have anyone around you abusing it, you will be able to stand as an ambassador of God with the understanding that you have, that no, I have a better understanding of what sex is before marriage. And even in marriage, you'll be able to go and build yourself in that understanding. You will be quick to condemn anyone that is abusing sex. Either your younger ones, your friends, your colleagues, even, God forbid, you won't be able to go into marriage with anyone who doesn't understand sex. So, at this moment, I congratulate you because you are yet to marry. When you have the understanding of what we are about to discuss tonight, you can never go into a marriage with a wrong person, because you will be intentional to know that the understanding you have, the person has it. And that is why I want to encourage you at this moment. If you are in a relationship and your fiancé is yet to be in here, call the person in by way of sending message and say, friend, where are you? Because if you know it and the person didn't know it, the person will trouble you in marriage. If you have a brother or a sister who doesn't understand what sex is, if the person going into marriage or is just living the life the way he wants, either before marriage or, in marriage, in one way or the other, the person is going to cause you trouble. I want to encourage every one of you at this moment, please try as much as possible to make use of a stable internet, so that I can, I'm the one admitting you. So if I see you coming in once, leaving more than 2 times, I might not admit you again. So if others can stay in class from the beginning to the end, I don't know what you are looking for. Don't pick calls for now. Don't pick calls from anyone. If anybody is calling you, don't pick it. Just send a message that, please, will you allow me to call you back? So that you will not miss out in anything. Stay. If you go out first time, second time, I will not admit you the third time. Please, I plead with you, my darlings. Let's make it convenient for ourselves. All right. So when you talk about sex, what's your understanding of it? We say, let's talk about sex. What is sex? Permit me to start with this way. That sex is an intimate relationship ordained by God for a man and his wife to become one in body, in soul, and in spirit. Sex is an intimate relationship ordained by God for a man and his wife to become one in body, in soul, and in spirit. You can see the 3 things that sex involves by that definition I gave to you. And you could see that sex is actually ordained by God. So sex is not evil. But you could see from that definition that it is ordained by who? By God. For a man and his wife. That is to tell you that it is ordained to be enjoyed within the confines of marriage. And the goal, the target, is that husband and wife will achieve oneness in body, in soul, and in spirit. So that is to tell you that what brings about oneness that the Bible recorded in Genesis chapter 2 verse 23. For this reason the man shall leave his father and mother and shall be joined to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. What will bring about that oneness is sex. Note that sex is not evil. God ordained it. Whatever God does is good. So I want you to build on that understanding now. That whenever you hear about sex, it is not an evil thing. It's a good thing. It's a way of enhancing intimacy between a man and his wife. Talking about marriage now. And to achieve what? To achieve oneness in body, in soul, and in spirit. So when you hear something like that, you will know that it is not what you can joke with. It's not what you can rush into. It's not what you can say, oh, wow, I need to indulge in it whenever I want. No, it's not done that way. So through the act of sex, a lifetime covenant is established. That's to tell you that sex is a way of establishing covenant. When you engage in sex, you are engaging in a lifetime covenant. That is why you must keep it in your spirit that whoever you engage in sex with lives in your heart, becomes a part of you forever. Because sex leads to a lifetime covenant. So, by sex, there is a merger of life and destiny. Through sex, life and destiny will be merged together. Whoever you engage in sex with, you have actually merged your life and destiny with the person. So you can see that sex is not what you just go into. I appreciate every one of you as we, engage in sexual purity campaign in November 14. But today, perhaps that day you were just doing it because everybody is doing it, or you could not even do it out of guilt. I don't want people who know me to be saying, you, a sexual purity ambassador, how did you start that one? But today, whatever your stand about it, either you participated in it on Tuesday or you didn't, there's going to be a better perspective of it for you. Whoever you engage in sex with, you've merged your life and destiny with the person. And that's to tell you that you can't just engage in such an act that will merge life and destiny together with just anyone. It has to be in marriage. And if it's going to be in marriage, you are going to carefully choose who that person is. Why am I saying all of this? Why does sex involve life? Why does he entails you entering into a covenant? Why will you say that sex is a way of entering into a lifetime covenant? Why will you say that whoever you engage in sex with lives in your life, becomes a part of you, will be in your heart forever? Why are we going to say all such? Whenever you engage in sex, there is transfusion of blood. When a man and a woman come together in sex, they are not just feeling their body. It goes beyond the warmth. It goes beyond the emotional feelings. It goes beyond like a physical thing. There is a transfusion of blood between the man and the woman. With the use of microscope, there is a spot of blood in the sperm deposited in that lady or that girl that you are engaging in sex with. And hear me very well, there is life in blood. So when you engage in sex, you are not just engaging in it. Many of you think that you are catching phones. No, you are actually entering into a lifetime covenant. Wherever you go, you carry the life of whoever you engage in sex with. Whatever happens to the person will affect you. That's the reason, if you have been in a relationship of sex before, no matter how long you have separated from that person, whenever you see each other, there will be a connection of the heart. Whenever you think about the person, something in you will trigger a connection of the heart. Sex involves transfusion of blood, and in blood there is life. So that is to tell you that you don't just engage in sex without understanding. Sex is spiritual. If we are saying there is life in blood, if we are saying that sex brings together the body, the soul, and the spirit, when you engage in sex, you are engaging in it, body, soul, and spirit. Sex is spiritual. That is why if you engage in sex with anyone, If the person belongs to the kingdom of the darkness, your life is open to attack. But the reason of the life, the blood that you have deposited in each other, that has been mixed together, whatever they do for you in the coven of witches and wizards, it will affect you. That's the reason sex is a major destiny destroyer. If you are committing other sins, lying, stealing, fighting, gossiping, backbiting, whatever, those ones doesn't involve the body, the soul, and the spirit. You can go scot-free with them. Your punishment might not be here on earth, or it might not be obvious. But as far as it has to do with sex, in fact, without God's judgment, nature will judge you. Nature brings judgment fast to anybody that engages in sex wrongly. So it is not something of the physical. Sex is spiritual. God is not against sex, my darlings. He created it. The Bible is a book about sex from Genesis to Revelation. But God is against abuse of sex. You might look at the Bible from Genesis to Revelation, especially the earlier version, that issue of sex is not well pronounced because it's a sacred issue. It's not what, you discuss openly like that. Sex is sacred. When you look at all those earlier versions of the Bible, what you will see there is that the man laid with the wife. The man knew his wife. They slept together and things like that. You won't see the word sex there. But still, as much as it is not pronounced, it is filled the books of the Bible. So the Bible is a book about sex. Now, when you look at the Bible, you will see that when God judges the people, whenever he punishes them for their disobedience, put together, I study my Bible, I discover that those who God personally killed because of abuse of sex, fornication, adultery, bestialism, lesbianism, any form of abuse of sex, they are more than those who died because of other sins. They are even more than those who died naturally. So God is against abuse of sex. He is not against sex. He builds the hormones in us. He wires us to enjoy sex. That is why you see that at a particular age of your life, my darlings, when you reach puberty, from your time of puberty age, you discover that so many things are changed about you. As a man, you know, it's obvious to you that everything about you has changed from who you were before you were 12 or 13, depending on how rapid your growth is. You discover that, especially as it has to do with your manhood, it is not how it used to be. You discover that very early in the morning, the thing rises, your brother in your pants, it rises on its own without anybody touching it, isn't it? Don't you discover that when you are close to a lady, a girl, a woman, irrespective of the age of that female being, especially when the person is so close to you and you touch the person wherever, or it might even be you just see the nakedness of a female being, irrespective of the age, what will happen to your manhood? It changes, it budges out. When that happens, you have not seen It's just an expression of what God packaged your life with. Same with a lady, you, my royal daughters. You discover that everything about you has changed. Your breast and everything, the nipples, your butt has changed, your look has changed, and everything around you has changed. Especially, all those hidden parts where we call your private parts. Everything has changed about you. And that is why you see yourself at this age, from that puberty age, that you are moved by what you see and what you hear, rather. As a woman, you are moved by what you hear. When a man, irrespective of the age, get closer to you, even if it's your father, something in you changes. Your body reacts. Your body responds, to those things, to the words. Especially when it now gets to touching. When an opposite sex touches you, your body shakes somehow. For some of you in the relationship, especially those in some of you in couples in the making, I've told you, I remember in one of my sessions with you, I said when you are together as a fiance and fiancé, you discover that when the closeness is too much, you begin to feel unease in your body. The hormones in your body will begin to react that, what you don't normally feel towards other person, you are feeling it towards the person. It's not that you have committed sin. It's normal. That is how God wired you. But you don't need to now go beyond that to now say, let's engage, let's explore it, let's have fun. Sex is not a fun thing. It's not an issue of fun before marriage. It can fuck you up. Permit me to use that word. So this is what I'm saying. God made sex. God is behind the feelings of sex. But remember, it must not be abused. There is a place where you can enjoy it. And that place is the institution of marriage. Anything you do to your body to enjoy, what you call, how will I put it now? To enjoy, I want to use a particular word now, just to satisfy yourself sexually. Whatever you do to your body, the manipulation that you do to your body. Perhaps you are holding your breast, you are, manipulating your genitals, you are manipulating any part of your body just because you want to enjoy yourself emotionally, sexually, is an abuse of sex. So it goes beyond penetration. The issue of sexual impurity, the issue of sexual abuse goes beyond a man inserting his penis into your vagina. Whatever you do that when you are done with it, you are guilty of that act, is an abuse. And do you know that I told you that sex is sacred? Your body by which this act is being carried out is not your own. You have heard some pastor telling you now in this our age that your body belongs to you, that you can manipulate it, that if you are yet to marry, you don't see a man, instead of you, and since they said penetration of sex into the vagina, that is sex before marriage, that is a sin, then you can do whatever you like with your genitals. But God says your body is his temple. God carries out his work on earth through your body. Genesis chapter 1 verse 26 verse 27, God declared you and I blessed. He said we should multiply, we should replenish the earth, we should take dominion. So we are established on earth. God sent us to the world so that we can take territories for him. We can establish his kingdom on earth wherever we are. And he does this by taking us over, possessing us. He carries out his assignment through our body. So will you now use that same body and begin to abuse it, either by masturbation, by engaging in sex with a man that is not your husband, or a woman that you are not married to? by, opening yourself up to blue film, what you call pornography today. You see it everywhere on the social media. As you are opening your phone, you want to check your WPS, you see phone is coming up. But remember, God has given you hand. You have your fingers. All you need to do is swipe it away. Don't look into it. There are horrible videos that you must not look into. When you watch those videos, you see that your body will change immediately. There are books that you can't read. There are magazines that you cannot read. There are films that you cannot watch. If you concentrate on all of that, you will see that your body will change. You feel like what you are reading or what you are seeing, that you want to experiment it. And at that time, you should be able to know that no, you are going far, and say, God, I am sorry. The Spirit of God is in you. You are a child of God. God lives in your body. He uses your body to operate on earth. God is spirit. And if God didn't use your body, devil will use your body. So when you are, whoever you yield your body to, the person you belong, you become a servant to. If you allow your body, if you manipulate your body through sexual abuse, then devil is the one using you. And when devil uses you, he will useless you. But when God uses you, he will beautify you. Let's talk about sex. So in order for you now not to arouse yourself unnecessarily, in order for you not to arouse unnecessary feelings in your body, what do? You be careful of what you read, the film you watch, places you go. There are places you cannot go as children of God, because you know that you find yourself doing what you are not supposed to do. Even if you are in a relationship, you will know how far you can go, because you know that God is everywhere. His eyes is hovering on you. He's watching everything that you are doing. So within God's plan in marriage, I told you earlier that sex is an intimate relationship ordained by God for a man and his wife to become one in body, in soul, and in spirit. So within God's plan in marriage, sex is a good thing. That is, when it is engaged between the husband and the wife. Not that the man steps out and engaging in sex with another woman different from his wife, or the wife steps out engaging in sex with another man different from her husband, or the man is manipulating his body, either the nose, the genitals and the ears, just to satisfy himself sexually. That is not the will of God. That is against God's will. Same thing with a woman. It's not that you are rubbing your breast or whatever you are doing. There are some ladies that they will put bottles in their vagina. What you are doing is that you are abusing the temple of God. So within God's plan in marriage, sex is a good thing. And it's a powerful source of life and unity between husband and his wife. Sex brings about life and unity when it is within the confines of marriage. So sex in marriage is within God's plan. But sex outside the confines of marriage is against God's plan. Now I want us to look at this now. We'll be doing some comparison. So in marriage, sex brings pleasure. When you are married, by the grace of God, you will be rightfully married. Every one of you. God is building for you a godly and a beautiful marriage. So finally, when you go into marriage with that man, listen, everybody, you are of age, you are adults. Everything I'm telling you, I'm not telling you something that is out of it. I told you, God created sex. God loves sex. It's all about God. So don't be ashamed of what I'm telling you. Don't do like, what is it that Mommy Roya is telling us? Oh, it's a lie. So it's better you open your ears and hear me very well. So in marriage, it brings pleasures to you, especially when it is engaged in, with a merry heart. When you as a husband and wife in that marriage, you are both happy. It's not that one is forcing himself on another person. But outside of marriage, sex brings problem. In marriage, sex brings pleasure. But outside of marriage, either premarital sex, what you call fornication, either masturbation, lesbianism, gay, bestialism, it brings problem. In marriage, sex